Hello, everyone, and welcome to BenUEagles.com and the YouTube live stream for tonight's men's volleyball action. As Aurora University, the Spartans march into the Dan and Ada Rice Center, standing at 11-12 on the season. As Nick Malik serves it up to start up the ball game. BenU currently ranked number 9 in the country. Aurora will start things off with the opening point. Once again, thank you all for joining us. My name's Donnie Rollins, doing the play-by-play on the camera, working the scoreboard, setting up the system, Mr. Anthony Leahy. As Aurora holds on to a 1-point lead, we will serve it up. Pass from Frank Hessick. Now to Joe Locke to the opposite side for Elijah Medlock. Overpass here. Eagles on the free ball. The transition. Van Stedham tips it over the top awkwardly and can't keep it in play. Last weekend, the Eagles traveled to Chicago to take on both Illinois Tech and MIT, sweeping both teams in straight sets. The win over MIT was BenU's 20th win of the season. Nick Malik led the way with 17 kills in Game 1 and 14 kills in Game 2 as Elijah Medlock comes down hard with that one and gives BenU their first point of the night. Regional rankings for BenU. The first regional rankings of the season came out last week, and the Eagles are ranked 4th in the West Division behind Stevenson, Carthage, and Keene College. And a kill for Aurora. Last time these two teams played was at Aurora. Earlier on in the season, it was a 3-2 win for the Eagles back on February 27th. It went into 5 sets and extra points in the 5th set. The Eagles able to outlast the Spartans. Pass up in the air. Now towards the back row. Tipped over the top. Bumped in the air by Olsen. Now towards Elijah Medlock. Takes a swing and puts it over. Set up. Plays it forward. That's Carwin. Now towards the middle. Olsen down into the campfire. Pancake not successful. And a point for the Eagles. So right now, the number 1 team in the country standing tall, Carthage, with a record of 21-1. Springfield and Stevenson right behind them. Keene at 4. Stevens College, Southern Virginia, Elms, and Benedictine at number 8. And a kill for Aurora. Good swing from Justin Elliott, the sophomore right side from Romeoville, Illinois. 4-2 lead for the Spartans. Good swing, that one's just long. Frank Hessick watched it go by in a smart play from Hessick as the service error gives Aurora now a 1-point lead. 4-3 in favor of the Spartans. BenU picks up the previous point. Now toward the outside, good swing. Johnny Valentini keeps it alive. Played over the net. Now towards the middle, down from the back row. The right side, Justin Elliott, from the middle of the floor, gets it to go. Last time Aurora played, their starting center, who is out for the night, started and played every point in the ball game, so a big loss for Aurora. The starting setter not in the match tonight. And a service error gives the point right back to BenU. Now serving Chase Olsen, the freshman who has been fantastic for the Eagles in his first season. A go-to middle hitter and an all-around athlete. As what a swing there. Timothy Brighter brings the heat down to the ground. Aurora's always traveled fairly well for an opponent who rivals Benedictine in basketball. Always shows a good crowd as they start to fill in that right side of the bleacher. 6-5, another service error for Aurora. Joseph Locke will serve. Joseph Locke will serve it right in towards the twine, and that's going to be a service error against Ben U. Gives the point right back. 7-5 lead for the Spartans. Aurora is currently 11-12 on the season and 8-6 in NACC play. The Spartans have secured a spot in the NAC tournament as either the 3rd or 4th seed. We'll figure that out going forward as an ace for Aurora. Aurora is led by Tim Brider with 205 kills on the season, and Jack Fisher leads the way with 169 digs. Good serve here. Overpass on a swing. Valentini keeps it alive. Out towards Medlock on the outside. Off the top of the block and down. A kill for Elijah Medlock. Nick Malik will step back and serve it up for Ben U. Malik floats it over, right at the libero. Good pass here to the center, now to the outside. That's down for a kill. Jack Fisher, 5'11" sophomore from Lake Park High School in Itasca, Illinois, gets that one to go. 3 losses on the season for Ben U, one against Stevenson, one against MSOE in conference play, and the last one was at Dominican in one of the most exciting ball games of the season. Valentini on the pass. Free ball for the Eagles. Van Stedham down hard. Kyle Van Stedham lights up the scoreboard for another one. Now Kyle Van Stedham will serve. Now towards the outside. Good swing, floats it over the net. Frank Hessick gets a palm on it. Setter charges at that one. That's down the line and not in play. Jack Fisher couldn't find the mark. And Ben U crawls back within 1. Van Stedham floats it over. That one's in. Fisher on the pass. Over to Carwin. Now on the outside, opposite side. Justin Elliott can't keep it within the stripes, and we're all tied up at 9. Couple of players to look out for on the Ben U side. Elijah Medlock leads the way for the Eagles with 268 kills on the season and 21 total aces from the service stripe. And Stedham will set it up in the air for Medlock. That one goes off the block and still in. Carwin to the opposite side. This one's tapped off the top of the net and out of play. Point for Ben U, and the Eagles have taken the lead. And Stedham. Ben U rocking the home white uniforms with black numbers and white shorts. Aurora comes in with the away blues and white shorts. Big block at the net for the tag team of Olsen and Medlock. Huge momentum booster for Benedictine as Elijah Medlock and Olsen were there to deny the swing. Float serve is over from Van Stedham. Now to the middle. That one's down to the ground. Still played up off the top of the net and out. Another block for Chase Olsen. Make it 2 in a row. Ben U's last home game was March 23rd. Haven't played at home in a couple weeks. That was against Marion, where they were victorious in 4 sets. Now Nick Malik takes a swing. This one's played very close to the net. Nice play from Carwin. Can't stay away from the bottom of the net. Tried to set it with one hand. And a timeout on the floor. Ben U holds on to a 4-point lead. A lot of momentum in the Dan and Ada Rice Center in favor of the Eagles. We'll be back in 1 minute for more volleyball action. Here we go after the timeout. Kyle Van Stedham puts it over the net. And a point right away from the drawing board. Head coach James Seidelman, assisted by Luca Wanek for Aurora. Bench making some noise, crowd making some noise, and an ace will silence the Ben U crowd. Aurora fans come to life a little bit as 2 straight points after the timeout for the Spartans. Elliott serves way long. And that will go down as a service error, but he got some distance on that one. Now Elijah Medlock. Jump serve and a good one, Medlock. Ring it up for the ace, and the bench will row forward for a point. Medlock will serve again. Another good one from Elijah Medlock. Down near the ground. Olsen puts it over. Hessick with the original block. This one's patted down, but not in play as a kill off the top of the block for Jack Fisher. Heads up play from the sophomore outside. Ben U holds on to a 3-point lead. Fisher serves it over. This one's near the crowd. Chasing after it goes Olsen. That one's up into the bleachers. Unplayable for Nick Malik, and a kill for Aurora. As a matter of fact, an ace for Fisher and the Spartans. 15-13 lead. Coach Dan Buring's Eagles hold on to a 2-point advantage, and another service error goes way long. Wonder what the Spartans ate for dinner on the way towards the game. A lot of energy. Now Hessick will serve it over. Now a free ball and a joust. Good block there from Carwin, the setter. Great play to deny the swing of Joe Locke. Now towards the back row and a kill. Eventually falls down. Huge point there for Aurora. James Carwin, the freshman setter, rose up with Joe Locke, who was just taking a swing at an overpass, and denied him. Now here comes the serve. That's Pytel for Aurora. Now towards the outside for Malik. One of the first attempts of the game for Nick Malik is unsuccessful. And Aurora now climbs within 1. Quite the stretch since the timeout for Aurora. It was 13-9 going into the break, now 16-15. Pytel will serve again. Very close to the service line. No call as Malik gets denied. James Carwin is all over that one as Malik tried to tap it and just go for the simple play over the net, was sent straight back down. Pytel serves again. Good pass from Valentini. Now to the opposite side for Medlock, off the block and down. Kill for Elijah Medlock off the top of the block. Now Kyle Van Stedham comes back in for the Eagles. Chase Olsen will now go towards the back row and serve. Up into the air. Now towards the back row. Good swing. Elijah Medlock puts it up in the air. Olsen sets. Very tight set towards the net. This one's played up in the air. Eventually touched off the top of the net and falls right back down onto the Aurora side. Chase Olsen's set was very tight near the bottom of the net for Malik, who just did all he could with that one. The crowd letting Aurora have it just a little. 18-16. Almost an ace. Played forward. Medlock Has it go off the hands. Diving play from Joe Locke. Now Hessick puts it over towards Carwin. One-handed set. And Stedham puts it backwards. Carwin again to the opposite side. Good swing. Hessick. Malik puts a swing on one and finds the mark in the back right corner. Nick Malik with a heads-up play finds the perfect spot. Don't know if that was intentional, but it sure looked like it. Now Olsen will float it over. Carwin now to the back row. Malik puts it over and just out of play. Nick Malik giving his all here. That one couldn't stay within the stripes, but a point for Aurora. 19-17. James Carwin, freshman setters, had a fine day so far for the Spartans through set one. Good pass from Malik. Now towards Van Stedham. Off the arms of Carwin. Now the libero will set the right side. Valentini plays it forward. Big swing from Joe Locke, who decided, I'll take this one. Locked and loaded, gets a kill. Joe Locke. And now after the swing and a kill, Joe Locke will step back and serve. Eagles first to 20. Joe Locke jump serve. Good pass to the setter Carwin. Now to the opposite side. Malik bumps it over. Swing and down. Elijah Medlock brings the crowd to their feet with that block on the opposite side. And Justin Elliott is sent home packing. Timeout Aurora. 1 minute rest. Ben U hangs on to a 4-point lead as Elijah Medlock denies Justin Elliott. (21-17) Eagles, 4-point lead. Joe Locke serves it over and a good one. Great pass to the center now. Big swing and down. Another block for Ben U. All over the outside hitters of Aurora. Kyle Van Stedham steps up to make the block. Solo block for Van Stedham. 5-point lead late in set number one. Eagles looking to set the tone early on. Have done so this far. Good swing there and a kill from the middle, Anthony Panizzi. 6'5" middle hitter from Geneva, Illinois. The freshman Panizzi tallies one for the Spartans and gives it right back as Timothy Brighter serves it right in to the net. Sophomore from Schaumburg, Illinois, and Conant High School. 23-18. Eagles closing in on victory in set one. Carwin now to the outside. Good swing. This one's played off the top of the net by Hessick. Good set from Van Stedham. Carwin setting the middle. That's not going to find the mark. Panizzi can't get it to go. Nick Malik's serve goes a bit long and out of play. And Aurora's hopes at set one are still in the making. Josh McKinstry comes in the right side from South Dakota, Bison High School. hearing it from the crowd. Right behind him, McKinsky puts it over. Now Joe Locke in the set to Van Stedham. He can end set one. No, he doesn't. Kept alive by Aurora. Set point for the Eagles. Over to Van Stedham again. Puts it down. Set number one comes to a close. Benue takes it by 6. And when we return in 3 minutes of action, we'll go over some stats and move right into set number 2. I'm Donnie Rollins. We'll be right back. 3 minutes. Thank you for joining us at BenueEagles.com and the YouTube live stream. Stay tuned for more men's volleyball action. Set number 2 is underway. Fisher will start us off on the serve. Joe Locke will set the outside Malik. Johnny Valentini. Now Malik again gets his number called. This towards the very middle of the floor. Now the left-handed play forward from the outside. Brighter with 1 kill in the first set. Elliott with 3. Fisher with 4. On 13 total attempts. And on the opposite side, leading the way is Elijah Medlock with 3 kills on 7 total attacks. And an in the net call on Nick Mellick and Van Stedham. Actually was called on Aurora, so the point will go to Benue. 2-0 lead to start up set 2. Now Olsen sends it forward. Carwin, good swing there from the middle. Anthony Panizzi comes down hard with that one. Panizzi will come out of the game. Substitution now as McKinstry will come in and play the back row for the middle Panizzi. Good pass from Valentini. Good communication in the back row from the Eagles. Valentini calls off Hessick and plays it forward. Now towards the outside again. Played forward by Breiter. Difficult pass for Joe Locke. Bumped up in the air, McKinstry towards the outside. That's out of play, barely missing the mark is Justin Elliott. And the crowd letting the line judge have it from the Aurora side, sitting right there across from the line. The line judge is sitting, he's standing right there. It is hard to miss a call if you're standing that close, but it is possible. We've seen it before. The Aurora fans all over the down judge on the line. Great pass to Carwin. Now bumped over the net. Valentini. Joe Locke. Nick Malik. That one's high up in the air. Off the Raptors. Carwin to the outside. This one's played up in the air. Nick Malik will take a swing. That one touches the twine on the way by. That will be just out of play. And another point for the Eagles. And the same line judge makes the same exact call with the same exact decision. 2 points straight for the Eagles on a very, very close plays on the back line. 4-1 lead for Ben U to start set two, make it 4-2 as Joe Locke serves it into the net.
Serving now for the Spartans is Justin Elliott.
Justin Elliott will serve. Fans on the opposite end of the floor trying to get in the head of Elliott. Van Stedham will tap it over the net and got it to go. Usually the big swinging Kyle Van Stedham lays off a one. Malik will serve now, floats it over. Now Carwin towards the opposite side. Valentini bumps it in the air. Hessick will give it a go. And the Spartans are called in the net, so Ben U picks up another point. 6-2 lead to start things off in set two for the Eagles. Nick Malik, 4-point lead. Carwin towards the outside. Good swing there. Played up near the scorer's table. Bill Dorn gets out of the way, and Nick Malik plays it over the net. Carwin. Good swing. Good defensive pressure at the net by the Eagles all night long. Good block now. Long rally. Medlock goes off the top of the block. This one's kept alive. Joe Locke. Hessick again. Carwin towards the back row. Good swing into the middle of the net and down. And a point for the Eagles after 26 total touches. 7-2. Now the float serve is over. Near the back row. Valentini has it go off the left hand and out of play as Justin Elliott finds the mark.
Is Cade Harrison. Harrison will serve.
Cade Harrison will serve. Harrison's serve just misses the mark on the near side of the net here. And Aurora gives back the point they fought so hard for. 8-3, still a 5-point lead for the Eagles. Eagles heavy favorites tonight, coming in with a 12-2 conference record in this conference matchup. Malik puts it over. Carwin now towards the back row. Joe Locke bumps it up. Good set there from Van Stedham. That's blocked but out of play. Elijah Medlock goes off the top of the block there and it goes out. Medlock leads the way for the Eagles in kills. That now his fourth. Van Stedham right in behind him with 3. Van Stedham will float it over. That's in. Carwin the setter towards the outside. Big swing, no touch. Hold on, touch at the top of the net. Didn't look like much contact there, but the high judge standing on the ladder has a better view at it than I do. 9-4. Now the serve goes off the top of the net a little bit. Pytel won that one. Frank Hessick has some bounce over there on the outside. Hessick can absolutely float, but can't get that one in between the lines. And hold on, the line judge will have a word with the scorers table. 9-5, lead for the Eagles. A point after Hessick's swing went towards the Eagles. Low judge quick to correct. Opposite side of the floor, letting the server really have it in Pytel. Now near the opposite side, blocked and off the arm of Jack Fisher, so Elijah Medlock gets the solo block on the outside. Elijah Medlock, 10-5. Medlock, usually one of the best service players for the Eagles, has that one go right into the net, so an error on Medlock. Carwin. Carwin serves it long, and the crowd of fans will celebrate just a little bit louder. And now Frank Hessick. Hessick will float it over. Now a good swing from Joe Locke. That one goes off the bottom of the net and down. Carwin can't keep that one alive, and Joe Locke will be credited with a kill, his second of the night. Hessick puts it over. Now near the opposite side. Blocked down to the ground. Big time block from the tag team of Nick Malik and Chase Olson. Pass goes forward. A little bit short for the setter. Now right at Johnny Valentini. Towards the opposite side. Nick Malik. Before the ball could hit the ground, the Spartans were called in the net. 14-6 lead for the Eagles, all over the Spartans. Timeout on the floor for Aurora. We'll be right back in 1 minute for more men's volleyball action. Frank Hessick will serve for the Eagles after the timeout. Aurora, after the last timeout in the first set, came back very strong and went on an 8-3 run. And right after the timeout, a block from Justin Elliott. And now Jack Fisher will serve. Fisher, good swing, great pass from Valentini. Now towards the outside for Malik, off the top of the block and down. Nick Malik finds the perfect spot and gets another point for Ben U.
Chase what matters.
Chase Olsen plays it forward. Aurora looking to claw back into this game, and that's how you do it, as Timothy Brighter, the sophomore, gets it to go. Now McKinstry comes back in, and Daniel Pytel will come back in as well. 1 and 11 checking in for the Spartans. 15-8, 7-point lead for Benue. Make it 8, 16-8. And now Anthony Panizzi will come back in and quickly come out for the libero, Brandon Langies. Langies, the sophomore from Plainfield South, standing in the white uniform in the crowd of blue. Joe Locke, great serve. Good pass from Brighter. We'll get it right back on the outside. That one's blocked down to the ground. Van Stedham having himself a night atop the net for the Eagles. Joe Locke will serve again right in towards the net. The point will go right back towards Aurora. Justin Elliott will serve now for the Spartans. 17-9. Benue 8 points away from taking a 2-0 set advantage. Aurora's got a long fight, but anything is possible. Now Joe Locke setting Van Stedham, who tips it over the net and got it. Nick Malik will serve. 18-9. Malik puts it over. That's played up into the air. Tough pass, but made a very good set. Was Carwin. Now towards the middle. Van Stedham having himself a night. Kyle Van Stedham on fire with the blocks and now picks up his 5th kill. 4 total blocks of the night. 7 kills for Van Stedham. And we need 6 more points to take home set 2. Now towards the back row. This one's down. Elliott gets it to go.
Back in for checking in for Benedictine is Jacob Strand. Serving will be Timothy Brighter.
So now Jacob Strand will come in for Kyle Van Stedham, who is probably a little angry that he got taken out, as he's been playing fantastic for the Eagles tonight. Now serving will be Brighter, looking to get them back into the ball game. Nice play from Valentini. Now Medlock. That's off the libero. Going forward. Alec plays it up. That falls right down, just out of play. Now serving will be Timothy Brighter. 19-11, Benue 6 points away. Fans letting Brighter have it. John Davis plays it in the air. Fresh legs on the floor for Benue, and Strand and John Davis. Couple rotational guys now getting back in the ball game, and a point for Aurora. Eagles called in the net. (19-12). Brighter still on the serve. Malik, good bump into the air. Now near Medlock. Gets a swing. Brighter from the back row towards Justin Elliott, now coming alive late in set 2. Aurora's made it a 6-point game. We're down as much as 10 in set 2 so far. Timothy Brighter, the outside. Swing, can't get it to go. That's just out of play. Heads up from John Davis in the back row to let that one go. And Chase Olsen will come back in for Johnny Volleyball. Jacob Strand, Eagles first to 20 in set number 2. Strand rocking 22. Floats it over. Carwin now to the back row. Bumped alive. Now near the middle again. Played forward by Olsen. Whistle blows and an in the net call. Actually a double hit on Aurora.
Eagles need 4. Up by 8.
Benue 4 points away. Strand will serve the middle. Puts it over nicely. Carwin towards the outside. Good swing. This one's kept alive. The setter Carwin takes a swing and swings again and gets that one to go. Big fist pump from James Carwin after 2 consecutive swings from the setter as he finds the mark. Jump serve. That one's over. Valentini up in the air. Now near John Davis, who puts a charge into one. Tipped over the net. John Davis didn't put a hand up and immediately regretted that one as it falls down right next to him. 6-point lead for the Eagles. 21-15. Serving is Daniel Pytel. Sophomore from Chicago puts a little bit extra on that one and can't keep it within the lines. Pytel will come off the floor. Medlock gives the point right back on the service error. 22-16. Another service error from Elijah Medlock, very uncharacteristic of him. Now the setter Carwin will step back to serve. Carwin's serve is in and an ace for the setter, James Carwin. Carwin, the freshman from Menifee, California. Carwin serve. This one's played up in the air by Valentini. Bumping it forward, John Davis. Good swing from Davis, played up in the air. Now near the back row. Touch at the top of the net and down. Here comes Aurora, 4-point lead. Slowly dwindling is that Benue advantage. Good serve, and that's in. Another ace for Carwin. Ring it up, 22-19. Aurora not letting down easy. Coach Dan Buring needs a timeout. A couple straight points from Aurora, putting the fear in the Benue sidelines. We'll take a short rest, 1 minute. We'll be back. Can Aurora come back and win set 2? James Carwin, a lot of momentum for Aurora after the timeout. Swing from Carwin, that one's in. Maybe another ace, and it is. Oh my, Carwin can do no wrong as he's had 2 consecutive aces. Frank Hessick will come in for John Davis. Eagles a little bit of panic mode as they've let Aurora crawl back into this one. We're up as many as 10 points in set two, now 22-20. Carwin still on the serve. Red hot. Now is set towards the middle. Olsen stops the rally with authority. Chase Olsen drops the hammer. Oh my. 23-20. Frank Hesse started the game for the Eagles, came out for a moment for John Davis, and is now checked back in the game. Floats it over. Carwin towards the outside. Off the top of the block, played forward by Hesse. Now setting all the way across the floor to Nick Malik. Towards the opposite side. This one's tapped up in the air and down as Nick Malik and Johnny Valentini almost collided in what would have been a scary instance. Athleticism of Nick Malik to get out of the way of the diving Valentini. Nevertheless, another point for Aurora. Tight ball game. Fisher serves it over. Place becoming louder and louder. In the net call, and maybe a costly one against Aurora as Justin Elliott got a little bit too eager on the block attempt. Chase Olsen will serve. Jacob Strand comes back in. And quickly before play resumes, timeout is called by Aurora. So we'll be right back in 1 minute. Aurora has made this quite the ball game in set two. (24-21). Set point in number two. Swing and a kill. Risky play going toward the near sideline in Justin Elliott as he gets it to go. Great play call from Coach Seidelman on the Aurora sideline. McKinstry comes in, 24-22. Things have gotten very interesting here in Lisle. McKinstry puts it over. Joe Locke, good pass. Van Stedham will tip it over. Now towards Elliott, down the line. This one's played up in the air. All or nothing mode right now for Aurora. Malik takes a swing, off the block and down. Huge block from Daniel Pytel. And we have ourselves a 1-point ball game. And side out for Aurora. Josh McKinstry, what a comeback this has been. McKinstry serves it over and in. Joust at the net. Played forward. Joe Locke setting Van Stedham, puts it down. That's it. That's all she wrote. The long rally for Aurora shut down. 25-23 victory. That was about as close as it comes to a miracle comeback in set two. Just upheld as Benue takes it. So we'll be right back in 3 minutes. We have more exciting volleyball coming forward. Benue and Aurora here in the Dan and Ada Rice Center. Stay tuned. Benue looks for the clean 3-0 sweep. We'll be back very, very soon. Here we go, set number 3 underway at BenUEagles.com and the YouTube live stream. We thank you all for joining us for what was a very exciting set number 2. BenU victorious after a long, hard-fought battle, as the first point of the game of set 3 goes to Justin Elliott and the Spartans. Couple stats before we really get underway. Nick Malik, 5 kills for the Eagles on 16 attempts. Kyle Van Stedham with 6 kills on 10 total attacks. As Elijah Medlock puts one over, that goes off the top of the block. Pytel is there. Chase Olsen can't keep it within the stripes. And Aurora takes a 2-0 lead. Joe Locke leads the way in assists for the Eagles with 14. Also 2 kills on 5 total swings. 5 digs for Locke and 7 digs for Nick Malik. Kyle Van Stedham also has 4 total blocks on the night. Leading the way is Elliott for Aurora. Justin Elliott on the night has 10 kills on 24 total attacks. He also has 1 ace and 5 digs. Big swing there from Aurora as Brighter gets it to go. This is all or nothing for sure for Aurora, as if BenU takes set 3, it'll be a clean sweep of the board. And Aurora fans will head home early. BenU in the last 2 games hasn't dropped a set, as an ace for Pytel and the Spartans. Pytel serves it over and in, a second straight ace. A pair of aces ring them up for Pytel, and Frank Hessick watched it go right past him, and he'll check out, and Kevin Gallagher will come in for the Eagles. Everybody on the BenU bench eager to get in the ball game. Kyle Van Stedham has checked back in for the Eagles as well. Pytel serves it, and another good one. 3 straight aces. Trip aces could win you a ton of money. And 3 straight points for the Spartans. Can he make it 4 of a kind? No, it will not be an ace, but could be a point for Aurora. Free ball here. Transition toward the middle. Taps it over. Joe Locke. Now Medlock. This one's played up in the air. Nice! Going underneath the net was Elliott, but that can't happen. But 6-2 lead for Aurora. High Judge having a word with Elliott. Laughing it off. No harm, no foul. Joe Locke will serve. That one's over and nicely done. Now Elliott charges forward and pushes it over. Medlock, now Malik. 6-2 lead, 4 points for Aurora. Now towards the back row. Medlock covers nicely. Joe Locke back to Medlock. Off the block, that's down to the ground. Anthony Panizzi gets himself a block. Impossible to say Panizzi without a little bit of Italian accent. As Panizzi gets the block and tallies another point for the Spartans. That goes off the top of the net and down. Aurora all over the Eagles right now to start off set 3. 8-2 lead. Aurora's crowd, fan base that I mentioned before, travels very well for an away team, has emerged a little bit more. 6-point lead. Elliott. Good serve. Joe Locke has to play it back towards the middle of the floor. Nick Malik sends it over. Now towards the outside. Joe Locke bumps it up in the air. Now Medlock. He can't get that one over the net. Went down the line on the wrong side of the floor. And Coach Dan Buring may have a decision to make here, and yes he does, as he calls a timeout. 9-2 lead for Aurora. We saw Aurora come back from 10 points down very late in the second set in the previous set. Now Ben Yu finds himself trailing by 7. We'll move forward after the timeout in 1 minute. Here we go after the timeout from Coach Dan Buring, who has pretty much raised this team from the ground, has been the head coach for now the 5th season. And hold the phone, another huge block by Carwin and Pinesi as they send Elijah Medlock down to the ground. 10-2 lead. Coach Dan Buring, 5 straight years. Program has been in existence for now its 5th season and has now become a very successful program here at Benedictine. And right into the net. A little bit of momentum killed as Elliott, who's had a very fine game so far for the Spartans with his 2nd service error of the night. Nick Malik charges forward and floats it over. Libero pushes it forward. Carwin towards the outside. Left-handed play for Brighter, gets it over. Now setting Medlock. Short approach, but got it to go. Elijah Medlock finds the mark for the Eagles. Ben Yu trying to stay in this ball game as long as they can. Now played forward, near the opposite side and down. Played nicely from Joe Locke, knocked him to his backside. Now towards the back row, over the line call. On the back row, that's Fisher coming in a little bit too strong as a toe may have gone over the line. 10-5 lead for Aurora. Spartans still hang on. Now played over. Near the outside, big block. The unit of Kyle Van Stedham and Elijah Medlock come to play. And that's Kyle Van Stedham's 5th block of the night. Van Stedham is a force at the top of the net. Big swing there from Elliott, who has got quite the vertical leap coming from the outside. Very easy for Elliott to come out of the back row and not be at a disadvantage, as he can pretty much float towards the net at will. Ben Yu making it a 3-point lead now. Towards the back row again for Elliott. Played up in the air. Joe Locke will set it all the way across the floor to Hessick, who is denied. Carwin with the block. Now Timothy Brighter, 4-point lead for AU. Brighter's serve goes way long. Not the first time we've seen that tonight from Aurora. Serves that just go way past the line. Adrenaline is racing in the building for both teams. You can see how that happens. And a nice play from Carwin as he dumps it over the top of the block and down into no man's land. Heads up play from Carwin, who tallies his 2nd point of the day. 2nd kill for Aurora. He's now got 7 points on the night for the Spartans. racking in a couple blocks. 1 solo block and 2 assisted blocks for the setter. And another block for Aurora. Pytel and Fisher were there to stop Elijah Medlock. 13-8. Now towards Nick Malik. Great pass, and Olsen line him up and knock him down as Joe Locke was there to set the freshman middle. Now, coming back in is Langies and Panizzi. Panizzi will come out for the libero. Medlock serve is in, played by Pangies. Now towards the front of the net. Free ball for the Eagles. Big moment here for Ben Yu. Hessick comes down with it, can't keep it within the lines as Carwin didn't get a touch on it. And that's another point for Aurora, 5-point lead. A lot of momentum on the side of Aurora right now. James Carwin. Definitely a very good performance by the freshman. And he tallies another ace as Frank Hessick can't get the platform down in time and make the pass. John Davis will come in for Hessick to play the back row. Those two swap. As we saw John Davis come in for Hessick in the second set. Carwin looking to extend the lead. Johnny Valentini got the pass up in the air at the last second, and that's a kill for Elijah Medlock. Ben Yu never out of it. 6-point lead, now a 5. So now John Davis will serve for Ben Yu. Now Carwin towards the outside. A little bit of awkward contact from Elliott, as you can maybe hear a finger pop when he collided with the ball. A few members of the crowd disapprove of the noise. But now John Davis, 4-point lead. Davis's serve is in. Carwin setting the middle. This one's kept alive by Medlock. Played over the net. Free ball and a swing goes off the top. Chase Olsen can't get much power on that one. And a kill for Fisher. Substitution coming in. Kevin Gallagher comes in to play the back row for John Davis. And Fisher, the 5-point lead, will serve for Aurora. Fisher's serve goes right into the net, so the point scored by Fisher is given right back, and a 4-point lead for AU still holds strong. Chase Olsen charges forward, will float it over and does. Pass from Pangies, now to the outside, and that's down to the ground. Brighter. Aurora looks like a completely different team from the first 2 sets. And just the charge they needed late in the second set. Maybe just found what they needed to be successful. Just happened a little bit too late in set 2 and couldn't catch up. Now on top by 5. Having good success from the service line as Nick Malik comes down with one and got it to go. 17-13. Ben Yu still hanging in a 4-point game. Now Joe Locke will walk backwards. Joe Locke, one of the better servers for Ben Yu. Joe Locke serves it forward. Good one from Locke. Played up in the air by the setter. Malik gets a hand on it. Joe Locke bumps it over. Hold on a second. This is still in play. Carwin now to the back row. Good swing and down. Every time Ben Yu has looked to take advantage and gain some momentum in set 3, Aurora all over him, and that time it was Jack Fisher again. Now Justin Elliott, the right side, leading the way in kills in the ball game. That serve goes off the top of the net, and Johnny Valentini plays it forward. Kyle Van Stedham gets a kill. Venue still holding on, keeping it at 4. Every time Van Stedham gets his name called today, it seems like good things are happening. Now John Davis will come in the rotation. Will come in to play the front row for Kevin Gallagher. Malik floats it over and long and out. Usually Nick Malik is a jump serve guy, maybe taking a little bit off that one. But couldn't take off enough. 5-point lead for the Spartans. Jump serve is out of play. The line judge dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodging out of the way of that one. Van Stedham will serve. Venue looking to hang on in the ball game. 19-15. Van Stedham floats it over. Carwin bumps it over with the left hand. John Davis down to the ground. This one's kept alive. Now towards the back row. Davis gets a hand on it. Malik dives at it. Now Nick Malik keeping it alive. Joe Locke setting again. John Davis. Good swing and a block. Big time play from James Carwin, putting another point on the board for Aurora in a Tiger Woods type fist pump as he brings the crowd to life. Josh McKinstry. He'll serve that just out of play. So the point given right back to the Eagles. Have never got closer than 4. Have been down as much as 8. Medlock will serve now for the Eagles. That one's in. Good pass from Fisher. Now to the back row. Brighter finds a good spot down into the campfire as everybody circles around and watches that one fall to the hardwood. Carwin. Setter, who's had a fine night for the Spartans, serves that one long and gives the point right back. 21-17. Aurora first to 20. Venue looking to end things in 3 will need a nice rally. And Aurora could just keep doing exactly what they're doing. Aurora will have things wrapped up here in the third set. That serve goes long, out of play. Kevin Gallagher will come back in right away for John Davis after the service error.
Kevin Gallagher back in for the Eagles.
Jack Fisher. 5-point lead for the Spartans. Fisher's serve is in. Pass from Valentini, a little bit tight towards the net. Joe Locke with a joust. Now Malik comes down hard with one and kept alive by Panges. Good swing from the opposite side, Elliott. Now Malik again puts a charge into one. Panges kept it alive. Ricocheted off the hand of Fisher. Aurora playing outstanding volleyball in set 3. This one's played over the net, and Kevin Gallagher goes down. Can't get it in time. 2 points away from victory in set 3 is Aurora. Huge point for the Spartans after quite the rally. Jack Fisher, 23-17, 2 points away. Fisher serves it right into the net. All the momentum is just wiped away on the service error. Chase Olson. Now the middle. Daniel Pytel is there. And now set point in set 3 as Panizzi comes back in. And Johnny Valentini approaches the floor. Pytel will serve. And a service error right back at you. That's the 3rd time in a row that Aurora has scored a point and given a point right back on the serve. 24-19. Tension is high in the Dan and Ada Rice Center. Set point for Aurora. Joe Locke is serve. Got the ace to go. Right off the arm of Timothy Brighter. Now Joe Locke puts it up in the air. Carwin towards the back row. Valentini, Joe Locke, Van Stedham down to the ground. Kyle Van Stedham, ring it up. Keep going back to the middle. The big man is on fire tonight. Joe Locke loves to set the right side and the outside, and when he does find Van Stedham, it happens to be at the perfect time. 24-21. We'll be right back in a minute for the conclusion of set number 3. Benue unable to wrap things up in 3. Aurora with a very hard fight so far. 24-21. Big tip over the net. Played down to the ground. This may be it, and that's all she wrote for set number 3. Benue falls. 25-21 Aurora with some fantastic volleyball. Took advantage early and just kept on going. Benue tried to fight back, but didn't have it in him. We'll be right back in 3 minutes' time for more volleyball action. Aurora extends the match to a 4th set. We'll be right back. Donnie Rollins, Anthony Leahy on the camera. Stay tuned. Set number 4 is here. Aurora able to extend the ball game a little bit longer. Ben U will look to close things out in 4. Last time these two teams played, it did go to 5 and extra points in 5. So a late night affair last time these two teams met, and Aurora looking to extend this one as long as they can. Point for Aurora to start things off. A couple stats as we get forward. Leading the way in kills is Elliott for Aurora. He's got 10 total kills. Now played over the net and long. That's not going to be in play. Carwin, 24 assists on the night, 4 aces, and 4 blocks. 5 digs for Carwin. Quite the resume for the freshman so far. Kyle Van Stedham will serve it over. A lot of energy in the last 2 sets, as Aurora was all over Ben U in set 3 and crawled back into set 2, down 10 points at one time. Now Van Stedham will serve again. Ben U looking to step on the gas pedal early in set 4, was unable to really take control in set 3, not even for a minute. Now towards the back row, that's a swing and a miss as that one goes wide. Now Kyle Van Stedham, senior co-captain, floats it over. Carwin now towards the opposite side. This one's tipped over with 2 hands. Frank Hessick back in the ball game for Ben U. Carwin now to the outside. This one's tapped up in the air. Can't be kept alive as Chase Olson never saw it after the block. Johnny Valentini comes in for Kyle Van Stedham in rotation. Will play the back row for the big man in the middle. 3-2 lead. And now Pytel, who's at a fine set 2 and 3 for Aurora. Pytel serve, I might have jinxed it as he serves it long and out of play. Brandon Langies comes in for Pytel after the service error in rotation to play the back row. Now Elijah Medlock from the service line. Overpass, Hessick puts it down to the ground, kept alive nicely. This one's played over. Valentini up in the air. Elijah Medlock from the back row. Good swing from Medlock as he gets it to go. Elijah Medlock now ties Nick Malik for the most kills for the Eagles. Nick Malik and Kyle Van Stedham both with 7. Medlock now reaches number 7 on 22 total attacks. Serve is over. Now near the outside. That's blocked down to the ground. And a kill for Brighter. So this is the second to last home game for the Eagles this season. The next one is on April 6th. That is Saturday at 1 p.m. It's senior day for men's volleyball as the serve is in, and an ace for Elliott as Johnny Valentini disagrees with the line judge there. But the Eagles take on MSOE, a team they fell to their one of 2 conference losses when Ben U was at an absolute height of their game. MSOE at MSOE beat the Eagles. Chase Olson gets it to go. MSOE beat them in 5 sets back on March 2nd. So Ben U will be ready for that one with a vengeance, especially on senior day, as there are some very talented seniors on this ball club and a huge, huge part of the team. Some of the seniors that will be recognized: Johnny Valentini, as well as Adriel Rivas, Kyle Van Stedham, Jeff Spagnolo, as that serve is long and out of play. So Van Stedham, a 4-year starter, as well as Johnny Valentini for the Eagles, will play their last game in the Dan and Ada Rice Center. That's in! Barely connects with the blue line, and that's an ace for Chase Olson. And the bench has a little bit of fun playing hide and go seek. Olsen. Float serve is over. Carwin over the net. Nick Malik. This one's bumped forward. Good chase from Carwin. Overpass. Joe Locke gets blocked to the ground, but that's in play on the Aurora side. And Ben Yu with a 4-point advantage, 9-5 lead. A win in set 4 will bring Ben Yu to victory. Olsen's serve is over. Carwin on the pass to the outside. Down the line nicely. Textbook play from Jack Fisher. Now Pytel comes back in and Josh McKinstry will come in. Johnny Valentini back in for the Eagles for the middle. Chase Olsen. Van Stedham back in for the Eagles as well. McKinstry serves it over. That one almost collided with a light fixture, now bumped over from Hessick. Played towards the back row. Swing from Timothy Brider. Finds a touch at the top of the net. Aurora staying in it. 2-point lead for the Eagles. McKinstry. That serve is over and in. Good serve from McKinstry, handled nicely from Valentini. Ends up being a point for the Eagles as Nick Malik tallies one up. Langes comes back in, the libero for Aurora. Now Joe Locke off the top of the net there. Now towards the back row. Joe Locke setting Van Stedham. This one's blocked in play. Joe Locke again towards the opposite side. Elijah Medlock tried to go down the line, almost connected with it, but barely misses his target, so a point for Aurora. James Carwin, 6'3" freshman, has had quite the night for the Spartans. Carwin serves it over. Nice play from Hessick. Now Medlock on a tight set, does his best. This one's played over, played up in the air. Now towards the bench, racing at it goes Frank Hessick as he leaps over a couple bench chairs but can't get there in time. James Carwin. 1-point lead for the Eagles now. Aurora not going down without a fight. We've seen that over and over again. No touch at the top of the net, so an error on Kyle Van Stedham. Ball game tied at 10. Carwin puts it over. Joe Locke will set it up. Elijah Medlock, great swing. Dug up nicely from Langes. Now near the outside. Joe Locke. Medlock. That one goes off the block and down in play. Good block there from Justin Elliott. Aurora finds himself leading set number 4, Set number 4 is led by Aurora 11-10. Coach Dan Buring needs himself a timeout. We'll take 1 minute rest. Carwin will serve after the timeout. Nick Malik on the pass. Joe Locke will set Medlock down to the hardwood with authority after the timeout. Elijah Medlock brings it down. Now Nick Malik. Johnny Valentini back on the floor for the Eagles in the all-black uniform. Black socks and black shoes. Carwin towards the net. Good swing and a kill. Jack Fisher made it look easy.
Jack Fisher now to serve.
(12-11). Aurora on top by 1. Good pass there to Joe Locke. Now Medlock. Down to the ground hard. Past the setter, James Carwin. Now Kyle Van Stedham will serve. Chase Olsen back in rotation to play the front row. Johnny Valentini comes out. Van Stedham floats it over and in play. Now near the opposite side. Swing, a little bit too much mustard on that one, as Justin Elliott couldn't keep it within the stripes. 13-12 lead for the Eagles. Another close one so far in set 4. And Stedham will float it over. Brighter on the pass. Brighter gets it right back. Malik keeps it in the air. Van Stedham chases after it and goes into the scorer's table. Carwin toward the outside. Brighter again. That's off the block and down. Elijah Medlock couldn't get there in time. Tie ball game at 13. Johnny Valentini comes back in for Kyle Van Stedham. Anthony Panizzi comes back in. Daniel Pytel will serve. Pytel's serve is in. Now Joe Locke to the opposite side. Medlock, that one had some steam on it, played up in the air. Medlock takes another swing and gets it to go. Elijah Medlock backed his teammates away from that one, timed it perfectly and knocked it down. Now Medlock will serve after the kill. 14-13 lead. Medlock puts it over nicely. Carwin on the set. Now to the back row. Hasick. Good swing. No contact there at the top of the net. Hasick thought there was a touch, but an error on Hasick. Elliott. Jump serve off the top of the net and down. Good play from Johnny Valentini to make the pass. Now Elijah Medlock starting to find a rhythm here in set 4. This one's bumped over. Put down to the ground. Nice cover and hustle from Langies, but doesn't matter as the Spartans called in the net. Langies came from the back left corner of the court all the way down near the front right side to cover that attempt from Chase Olsen. Elliott goes off the top of the twine. Now near the outside is Nick Malik. Spartans called in the net yet again, and Ben Yu takes a 2-point lead. Frank Hessick will serve it over. Now near the outside again. Down to the ground hard goes Timothy Brighter.
Serving for the Spartans, Timothy Brighter.
Timothy Brighter after the kill will serve. Malik on the pass. Joust at the net. Kept alive. Joe Locke setting Olsen, who puts it over with the left hand. A little bit unorthodox of a point, as James Carwin couldn't get his hand over the top of the ball, and that one goes down long. And a little bit of miscommunication, though, as Joe Locke looked like he was going to take a swing at that one. Set up Chase Olsen instead. Now Joe Locke will set Malik, who gets blocked to the ground. Carwin gets the point right back.
Back in for the Spartans, Johnson. Jonathan Valentini returns to the hardwood for the Eagles.
Jonathan Valentini comes back into the game for Benue. 17-16. Josh McKinstry will serve. Good one indeed. McKinstry's had quite the night from the service stripe, and that swing from Malik can't find the mark. Live stats are a little bit slow right now. As soon as we get those to the most updated form, I will have some stats as we approach what could be the end of the ball game. McKinstry will serve. 17-17 in the race to 25. Now Joe Locke pushes it over the net and down to the ground. Timothy Brighter a little bit sluggish going for that one. Couldn't get there in time. Langies comes back in. Joe Locke will serve. Great spot for Benue. Joe Locke, one of the better servers for Benue. Now perfect spot set up from Jack Fisher, taking advantage of the hole on the side of Benue, puts it right into no man's land. Now the setter Carwin will serve. That serve is over. Now the opposite side to Elijah Medlock. Had that one go off the middle of the net. Aurora with a 1-point lead. Huge point for Aurora. Carwin will serve. Setter. 19-18. Aurora looking to make this a 5-set game. Joe Locke to the outside. Nick Malik. That goes off the arm of Langies, played up in the air. Carwin pushes it over. Free ball for the Eagles. Now near Malik. Malik down the line. Got it to go. A little bit of a collision underneath the net as Jack Fisher collided with Nick Malik after the point. But Malik goes down the line nicely and gets it to go. 19-19. Very exciting ball game here in Lisle. Carwin to the outside for Elliott off the top of the block and down. Another point for Aurora. 20-19. Jack Fisher. Fisher, good serve played by Johnny Valentini. Now the outside. Hessick has it go off a block and down. Huge play from Daniel Pytel. 21-19. Coach Dan Buring will take a timeout. 2-point lead for Aurora as we may come to the conclusion of set 4 when we return. Here we go. Set number 4 is neck and neck. Jack Fisher, Aurora with a 2-point lead, looking to bring this to set 5. Swing and a miss there from the middle, Pytel, as that goes just past the outstretched hand, and it falls down to the ground. 21-20. Kyle Van Stedham will serve. Van Stedham will float it over. Carwin on the set. Down to the ground. Justin Elliott has been on fire. That's his 12th kill of the night. Elliott has 12 kills and 11 digs, leading the way for Ben U. Nick Malik with 8 kills, and he has 9 digs. Pytel will serve. That one's over. Down hard, and Medlock will take another swing, and he gets it to go. Overpass from James Carwin, just impressive enough to get that one up into the air. Elijah Medlock got all of that one. 22-21. Quick timeout on the floor as we need some sweat cleaned up with a towel. Again, we want to thank you all for joining us in what has been a very exciting matchup as Elijah Medlock, the leader in kills. 14 kills on the night with 9 digs. Now steps back to serve. Whistle blows, and the Spartans are in the net. We're tied at 22. Ben U crawling back into it, have tied it late in set 4. Medlock will serve, and he misses the serve to the right side. Huge service error for the Eagles there as they gift a point right back to the Spartans in crunch time. Keep the errors to a minimum. Elliott will serve. Jump serve is in. Nice pass from Hessick. Now towards Medlock on the back row. That's blocked to the ground. Set point for the Spartans to bring it to 5. After being down 2 sets to nothing. Have a chance now to make this a much longer game than expected. 24-22. Set point. Elliott will serve. Jump serve coming. Elliott goes off the top of the net. Good pass from Hessick. Now towards Olsen in the middle. That goes down to the ground. Chase Olsen runs a little bit of a wheel route around Joe Locke and gets that one to go. Timeout is called on the floor. Aurora needs one moment to talk things over. 24-23, set point for the Spartans. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Here we go, 24-23. Frank Hessick will serve. He'll float it over, and that one's in. Carwin taps it over. That one's kept alive. Now Joe Locke to the back of the court. Setting the outside. That's down to the ground. We're headed to a couple extra points in set number 4. Huge block there from Joe Locke and Chase Olsen. Even more volleyball to be played tonight. Hessick will serve, floats it over, and that's in. Breiter. Carwin. Now towards the opposite side. That's down to the ground. Ben U now with match point. What a fight this has been for both teams. Timeout on the floor. Crowd comes to life as Ben U is the first to 25. Now a win by 2 situation. We will see what happens after the timeout. Here we go. 25-24. Frank Hessick steps back to serve. Jeff Spagnolo will check in. The senior will come in to play the back row. In crunch time for the Eagles, Elijah Medlock not on the floor. Kyle Van Stedham not on the floor. Hessick will serve it over. Match point for the Eagles. Now towards the outside. Brider's blocked down to the ground. Point for the Eagles, and that's all she wrote. What a comeback it was for Aurora. Almost made it a 5-set game, and that's it. Ben U shuts down the comeback. And we will see you guys next time. 26-24. Ben U takes this one in 4 exciting sets as Aurora marched back, showed a lot of heart in this ball game. Frank Hessick on the serve on the final point, and the block goes to Ben U and Joe Locke. And that's all she wrote. Let's see if we can get some final stats before we wrap things up. But what a battle that was by the Spartans. Benedictine will move to 21-3 overall and 13-2 in the NAC. Aurora goes to 11-13 and 8-7 in conference play. Woo! What a game that was, Mr. Anthony Leahy. As the next one for Ben U will be Saturday, April 6th, as MSOE, number 9 in the country right now. Ben U sitting at number 8, a 1 p.m. affair, as there will be a lot of tension in the ball game. Leading the way in kills was Elijah Medlock for the Eagles. On the opposite side of the floor was Mr. Justin Elliott. A fine night from the setter, James Carwin from Aurora, as he showed off a multiple of talents, getting some kills, getting a bunch of digs and assists, of course, and had a bunch of total points for Aurora. Let's see if I can get some final stats before we call this thing quits. Looks like the stats have been passed to Coach Buring, who probably needs them a little bit more than I do, but that's all she wrote. We'll wrap things up here early. My name, Donnie Rollins. Thank you all for joining us here at the Dan and Ada Rice Center. Anthony Leahy on the camera did a very fine job. Until next time, Saturday, 1 p.m., the last home game of the season, senior night for the Eagles. We will see you guys then. Thank you all for watching.